What's up, NJ?
Let's talk real quick about somebody who has a full-time job and they are really kind of teeter-tottering when they should start deciding when to do some direct marketing. They do believe they're deserving it enough. They
Good.
know they're going to have a signing service one day. They
Good.
included all of that. So
I
what do you want
love
to
it.
say to that?
Yeah, the first thing I'll tell people is, most signing agents are part-time. So I think there's a little misnomer that, oh my gosh, I have a full-time job that handicaps me. So, most of my students, I usually guesstimate about 70% of my students are part-time, meaning that you're not alone on this journey of, where should I do and what's the next steps. I think the first thing I want to coach people on if they're in the same position is, really ask yourself, are you creating a narrative that prevents you from doing what is hard to do, which is going out and introducing myself. So sometimes we make this narrative, oh, I have a part-time job, oh, I'm handicapped. And it's really a narrative we're justifying that prevents us from taking that first step outside of our comfort zone. So as long as, I want to coach people because sometimes I feel people use that as a little bit of a narrative that kind of prevents them from doing the hard work, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that this person is saying that. I just want to kind of give some macro coaching on that. So, assuming that it's not the narrative, but I don't know if some people needed to hear what I just said, is just make sure that you're not giving your justifiable narrative to prevent you from stepping outside the comfort zone, because gosh knows that's so hard. So the answer to that specifically, though, is no one needs to know you're part-time. Okay. So when you walk in and you market direct, it is, I'm here to serve you. And if they happen to have a signing when you're at work, you simply say, I'm not available. Or if you don't answer the phone because you're actually working, then remember, escrow officers, lenders, they have a litany of notaries inside the Rolodex. That's what really makes this business amazing and really makes business for everybody, is because you're not the only notary that they're banking on. So my point is, don't overthink it. Like if you get called and you can't do it, they're literally not losing sleep that you didn't answer your phone. They're not over like, oh my gosh, they didn't answer, they just marketed to me. There's kind of an assumption that you might be working for another escrow officer or you're doing another signing. Nobody thinks that you're their only notary and you don't have any other clients. Does that make sense? So what I tell you is, really just go for it. Step out your comfort zone. Keep building, keep believing. I love how you said you're deserving and you are enough. Now it's time to go tell the world. Let's go.
In this digital age, what are you leaving behind to get remembered by? Business cards, flyers? What's your recommendation?
Yeah, good question. So, what I coach my students on is, I do love leave behinds, and that's kind of the technical term for flyers or something you leave behind when you walk out. I don't coach leave behinds, even though I do like them. Here's why. Is a lot of times people hide behind the leave behinds. They're like, oh, hi, I'm Mark, here you go. And they run out the door. You know what I mean? So, what I want, so my coaching is, I think leave behinds are great as long as you are doing the conversation and connecting like I just coached everybody on. As long as you're doing that, I think it's great. As far as digital marketing for signing agents, rarely, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but rarely are, escrow officers Googling notary signing agents near me, lenders. And so, the best way this business is face-to-face. We're a client-facing business. So you got to take your leave behind, take your business card, either or works. Again, only reason I don't teach leave behinds is because I think people hide behind them and that accomplishes nothing. Your flyer is not going to get you business, everybody. Okay. So you don't need to go spend $5 for this high gloss flyer that has all the great bullet points. Remember, what I told you is the connection is what's going to sell you. So leave behinds are cool if it accompanies a really good first moment.
Okay. Let's see. Where do I want to go here? How do I find a mentor?
Okay, great question. And so even as, the
So
first
loaded.
thing is, the first thing is I would find an online mentor. And again, I told everybody, I think there's so many amazing signing agent trainers out there. I am not one of those trainers who talks down about other people. I think they're amazing. My point is, find someone you connect with. That's number one. By the way, that doesn't mean I don't believe in finding a local mentor. So I'm going to get to that. But I would argue that, a signing agent who's busy doesn't have time to teach you the ins and outs. That's just the truth. So I think a lot of signing agents are trying to find that golden goose of that one notary who's like, Oh, I make 10 grand a month. Sure, I'll mentor you for free on my nights off. I won't be with my family. You know what I mean? So I would say do an online mentor first. Once you have an online mentor, try to find someone within that community to be a local mentor. Here's how you do it. You have to learn how to create value. So one of the biggest mistakes my students make is they just go, hey, I need a mentor. I'm like, well, that's kind of rude. You're just going to ask someone to do something for nothing in return. Business is always an exchange of value. So I got to protect the investment of my students. So I can't give away everything in the course. But I would say is, make sure you're doing a value exchange proposition and say, maybe there's something you can offer value for someone else that makes them say, you know what? That makes sense for me to stop what I'm doing and help you. But remember, man, people are trying to make money for their families. And asking them to stop making money for the families to help you for free, I think is actually a little rude. So I think you should be empathetic of their business. Start with an online mentor. I get questions, how do you find the right online coach? I said it in this talk. Find a personality. Find someone who you can sit here, talk for 8 hours, and then kind of go from there. But start with an online mentor within the community, find a mentor, exchange value. That's the answer.
So speaking of which, somebody, if they want to become your student, how do they sign up?
Oh, thank you for asking. Yes, go to loansigningsystem.com.
Would you suggest including your business cards with your mailed docs if you go through a signing service?
Good question. I get this question all the time, and I don't believe it's my job to be someone's moral police, right? If you want to try to take business from a signing service, that's I'm not going to answer them moral if it's right or wrong, but what I will answer from a business coaching perspective, because I'm a business coach, I don't believe it's good to bite the hand that feeds you. So if a signing service is giving you business, if they find out that you're trying to take their clients or market to their clients, you're probably going to get blacklisted from them. So in business, there's a saying, guaranteed revenue is better than no revenue. So I would say anything that's going to that could be perceived, even if it's unintentional, or even if it's just like, I want to give the card in case I made a mistake. Anything that could be perceived as marketing, I do not think that's a smart business move, because if it goes upline to the signing service, they're going to write in your signing agent profile, this signing agent tries to take my business. So I don't think it's a good move from a business point, because it's better to get guaranteed business than a chance of future business. I hope that makes sense, everybody. But yes, that's the answer.
Okay. How long does it take an extremely new notary to become a successful signing agent? I think that question is right up your alley.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I don't like to answer that question. I get it all the time. Mark, how long is it going to take me to make money? Because I always use the analogy, that's like asking a physical trainer, how quick can you make me lose weight? Because they're going to be like, dude, are you eating right? Are you going to the gym 3 days a week or 8 days a week? You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables in that answer. So, some people come from a mortgage background. So learning the definitions and terminology is easier for them to comprehend because they have some background. So it's really a loaded question. But my answer would be, it takes as long as it takes. And I know that's not a good answer. There's a saying that I tell my students is slow is a speed. And so the goal when you're learning something new is to learn it, not to get through it quickly. If you want a specific answer, I have students who have got business within the first 7 days, and I have students who've taken 3 months. That's just being honest. And so there's just a variance depending a lot on your background. And so I wish I had a better answer, because I get it every day. So. Yeah. That's me being transparent. I'm not one of those guys who are like, take my course, make money tomorrow. It's not how I roll. So it is as much effort you put in is what you're going to get out. You guys have been more than amazing. So just thank you both and the NNA as a whole. So I'm out of here.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Let's go.